Trustee Vorderer.
Thank you, Mayor, and if I could ask you and my fellow trustees to give me a couple extra minutes tonight, as a major event occurred in the 4th District on Wednesday, January 16th, as we cut a ribbon, okay, for the East Bed Tower at Advocate Christ Hospital. This is the second
Could we
phase.
get that PowerPoint going there, Oscar,
This is the
please?
second phase of a $700 million investment in the village of Oak Lawn, perhaps the largest, no, it is the largest construction project that ever occurred. Us people who live in the 4th District certainly live in the shadow of that hospital, and we're impacted perhaps a little bit more than the rest of the village, but I would probably be negligent in my duties if I did not recognize that that hospital is an economic engine which keeps Oak Lawn very, very green. Now, on January 6th, we cut that ribbon. As you see in the center was the CEO, Ken Lukart, the mayor, myself, other dignitaries, the CEO actually of Advocate Hospital, or the number 2 guy, a couple of the doctors there. And they all patted themselves on the back as they rightly deserved. But I want to take the time to recognize the Oak Lawn team that has been working for more than 5 years on this project and still got a couple of years to go. And I'd like to take the time to recognize Jack Gallagher, Steve Barrett, Chief George Sheets, Chief Mike Murray, William Meyer, Ken Ritter, CDM, BF Technical Services, Don McKenna, Michelle Niemeyer, Ida Johnson, Jeannie Gilson, Brian Hannigan, Joanne Shalinsky, Josh Jones, Pat Connolly, Steve Radis. This is the team in Oak Lawn that have attended all the meetings with this hospital to make sure that this project is first class and meets all the standards of this village. Now, at this meeting, not only was I there, but as you can see, Dr. Mayor Barry was there, our clerk Jane Quinlan was there, Trustee Bob Streit was there, our village manager was there, along with many other elected representatives from the region, including our state rep there, Kelly Burke. As you can see, this reception was well attended. Many dignitaries and many people that were involved in the project from Christ Hospital were invited. It's an impressive facility just from the point of view of the quality of construction. But it was the tour of that facility that led me to understand how major an investment this hospital is for the village of Oak Lawn. There were moments as I took that tour that I thought I might have been standing on the deck of the Starship Enterprise 2 centuries from now. The technology there is absolutely amazing. So myself and the mayor said that we need to share this with the people, because if you didn't take that tour, you don't get a grasp of it. So quickly we put together this this little slide presentation of pictures I've taken and Sandy took during that tour. It wasn't rehearsed, so give us a little bit of time. And I would ask you, Mayor, Village Manager, Trustee Streit, as I go through these pictures, if you have anything to add, please jump in, okay, and share your experiences with the people of Oak Lawn. This is a outside vision, or this is the building that exists there. This is the new East Bed Tower, like I say, Phase 2. It's a modern-looking structure. It certainly adds a lot of beauty to that campus. I often said to my constituents, yes, it is 10 pounds of potatoes in a 5-pound bag, but it is an impressive facility. Please move forward with the next slide. Okay, this is the second floor. There are 8 floors to this hospital. 3 of them are technical floors, which house the furnaces and the plants and the technology grids that supply the other floors. But the second floor of this hospital is the maternity wing. And I read in the paper the other day that the first baby was born, okay, at Christ Hospital. I had 2 grandchildren born, they're twins, just a week ago, so I kind of missed it. My daughter had to spend some time in the old hospital. But when you see these slides of the maternity wards, you're really, really going to be impressed. The whole floor is maternity. Okay, so can we move forward? Now, this is one of the rooms for the mothers, okay? Look at this facility, how beautiful it is. You see that today they believe in keeping the baby with the mother throughout her stay in the hospital. It's a spacious room. It has its own bathrooms. The technology in this room is amazing. Family, that little bunk in the corner, they can spend the night there. That pulls out into a bed. Really, really,
Yeah.
really impressive.
And you can't see on the other side of the bed, but there's a big monitor, and there's lessons that are preloaded for the mother, how to care for your baby. You know, what do you need to do before you can leave, the different milestones they need to meet, and they can almost take classes while they're recovering on how to be a better parent and how to take care of that infant.
Now, this is the washing station, okay, for
This
the
is
doctors.
The
Correct.
surgical
The
suite.
Surgical, as we go into the surgery room, okay, this is where the doctors prep themselves. Okay, we're now looking at a surgical room. Okay, you can see the technology that's in that room.
There is no finer surgical suite anywhere in the world than you're looking at right there.
Now, the maternity ward has the ability to handle multiple births. We are looking at actually, this is the operating room for cesarean section, and you can see it's set up for triplets, okay, and any other kind of multiple births that might happen. The lighting is state-of-the-art lighting. Nowhere, I don't know how they do this or how this technology works. When the doctor's standing there, these lights are shining over him, but they cast no shadow. Okay, these doctors have great lighting, okay, as they work, part of the technology. Even the plumbing in the bathroom is high technology. This is a washing station in the room with the mother and the baby for the child. Okay, they feel that a child should be washed within the first 72 hours. That sink is designed for the baby, and the temperature when you pour the water instantly is the perfect temperature for a newborn newborn baby. Youth comes from my police work when I talk about youths. But it was
At least
just
you didn't say
impressive.
ute.
Yeah, Newt.
Ute.
This is an area where family can wait. That pulls down and it turns into a bed. The views are spectacular too. The lighting, the windows, the rooms are just beautiful. I mean, great view of the village of Oak Lawn from those higher stakes. Now, there's smart room technology. Every room is wired, okay, to tell the nurses what the patient needs, what his medicines are as she walks in. The lighting there, okay, as you see on the sides, indicates the, Mary, what is it that indicates?
So the status, so these are little placards that are outside the rooms. So the nurse can glance down a hall and by looking at the colors, know where that nurse needs to be at any given time. Is anything urgent? What is the status of the patient? Those colors change automatically as the patient's needs change. And everything kind of is automated. If you advance it, Oscar, that little card that the woman's holding up there, that little chip, as she walks in the room, it instantly announces who is coming into the room to the patient on the big screen TV. And what's really neat, I was impressed. The doctor, when they come in, can see any other doctor who's been in. It kind of logs as they come in and out of the different rooms.
Yeah. Can you go back, Oscar, to the previous slide? You see the pictures here, there. When the nurse walks in, the computers automatically know who has walked in that room, and it records their picture there so that the next doctor or the next nurse that goes in knows who was there, okay? And it's all recorded, and all the work that she does, she plugs in. We'll talk about that a little bit later with the technology.
So these were designed by nurses, and she's holding a phone, and that's not her iPhone to check on, what the weather is. These are smartphones that are networked throughout the hospital. They receive alerts regarding critical lab values. They receive patient alarms. If a patient needs something, it'll show up on the phone. They can send messages between staff to coordinate care. And if you think about it, that'll really make it a more quiet, more restful setting for the patients. It decreases noise, and they can scan things right into their lab specimens. Different lab results can go right there. And so it just will decrease wait time, improve communication. And Terry, how common is this technology?
Actually, this is the first hospital in the Midwest that is entirely linked to this technology. There is a partial hospital in Naples, Florida, okay, that has this technology, but even the whole hospital isn't that. What we're looking at here is a nurse in intensive care. This is the 8th floor. And what impressed me the most is if you're in intensive care, you're critical, it's needless to say. You are always being monitored by a doctor. The technology here centers into a central location, and I don't know exactly where that's at, and it's one of our western suburbs that Advocate manages. And there is always a team of doctors monitoring your care, okay? And they can link to those nurses if they see anything that changes in the thing, or they make any diagnosis, or they want to prescribe anything, they can immediately contact the nurses through those phones. So if you're in intensive care, you're always in the presence of professional staff.
And these rooms were designed by nurses, which I really like, because the nurses really know the deal. You know, the doctors come and go, but the nurses are there with you all the time. And so, but there you could kind of see at a glance, those nurses can immediately see what's going on.
Now, what we're looking at here is a surgical intensive care room, which is quarantined. There's a wall between the room, and the air filtration systems are designed so that no bacteria or germs can enter that room from the outside. So the one door opens up, there's a vacuum situation that removes any of the impurities before you step in to the intensive care room.
It also keeps germs in the room from going outside throughout the hospital.
Good point, Mayor. All right, now this is a tote board that's kept in each and every patient's rooms, okay, which nurses will fill out. Duplication, it's the old mechanical system, the pen and paper, which duplicates the technology and the computers. But at any time a nurse comes in and the plan of care, it's there for her to look at too. What are we looking at here, Mayor?
It's still the smart room.
A smart
We can
room. This
keep
is
moving.
Now what we're, if you go by the front of that hospital from 95th Street and you look at the front of that building, you will see 4 multicolored lights. They change during Breast Awareness Month. They'll be pink, or for different causes they'll change to purple, or they'll change to blue to signify different events that are going on times of the year. And this is a lounge area for people on that floor that are doing visits, just to get away from the room. Very comfortable room, very comfortable seats, very enjoyable just to sit in.
And again, beautiful views of Oak Lawn.
Yes,
You could see
yes.
your house from there, Terry, I think.
Yes, you can. You can see my house. What we're looking at here is what is this, Sandy? This is the,
So they have a little store for the new mothers. So it'll have different things that they would need, you know, whether it's specialized, I hate to say, you know, the special bras, the special pumping devices
pumping
and
devices,
apparatus, and so they have a store for that.
right, and it's a private area for the mothers. Any mother can go there. You don't have to have
Yeah.
a baby. If you're
Right.
breast pumping or something like that, you can go there. And they have all the equipment. They do it for you. They'll store the breast milk.
Oh, I don't know
send you
about
home.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
reading the literature there, Sandy.
Okay.
But I'm sure they have a price tag on it. But, all right, then we visited the new cafeteria, which is extremely impressive. It's on the first floor. Anybody can go there. You don't have to be a patient. You don't have to go there. It's as we go through this, you will see fire oven pizzas, a beautiful dining area, an outdoor second floor dining area, For lunch, I would suggest, I'm gonna take my wife there for lunch on a couple of occasions, maybe breakfast in the morning on Sunday. They have a beautiful chapel there too. We didn't cover that, a non-denominational chapel where they'll be doing religious services. And you can do breakfast. This is one of the pizza ovens that they
Yeah,
do
so
here.
from a bun in the oven to a pizza in the oven, there we go.
Yeah, and I got a peek of the prices. It's pretty reasonable.
So just one more view of that beautiful room.
Yes, yes. Now, this hospital's occurred through the work not only of a lot of people, but the generosity of many, many corporations and people. And the hospital's taken the time to recognize the benefactors and the leaders and the visionaries who saw this as a facility needed on the southwest side. And they're recognized here on the wall of donors and friends. Now, we're looking at the campus, the old campus, before we started all this construction. As you can see, it's a pretty major campus back before we even started this construction. The new bed tower that we're talking about is where you see the parking lot. This parking lot all came down, okay, and the bed tower was then built there. And then the cars you see in the front there, that's where the outpatient clinic was built, and that was about 18 months
Just
ago
point
that
in
we
that
cut
corner.
that ribbon. Okay, so we have that building there too. The stars indicate the new construction, which has occurred over the last 5 years. As you can see, the new parking garage is here on the east side of Costner Avenue, the outpatient pavilion. Next to that is the outpatient parking. Okay, we have the east tower that we're talking about. And phase 3 is the expansion of the emergency department. This east tower has cleared up a lot of space in the existing hospital. So they are taking all that space now that's available, and they are expanding many of the emergency services over in that area. And I guess that'll be for the next 2 years. The only visible construction that you'll see as you pass by is they're redoing the emergency room entrance where the ambulances go up and the police cars to make it a lot easier to get in and out of the hospital.
And then they'll have a new sign in the where the old rotunda was. That'll be a green space and
Right.
a lovely new sign that'll kind of mark the gateway into the campus.
Okay, so you know what? I do believe that this is the future for Oak Lawn. We've went through a paradigm here from the 70s and the 80s where we sold a lot of automobiles. We still do sell a lot of automobiles, but this hospital is changing the business dynamics for this village. Don't forget the dollars that are earned and spent. They have thousands of employees there, many of which live in my district and are residents of Oak Lawn. About 20 of the doctors live here that I know of personally in Oak Lawn. I got 2 or 3 of them on my own block. So this hospital is Oak Lawn, and I think we need to recognize that. We need to embrace it, and they've stepped forward, okay, and they've embraced the village of Oak Lawn. When the mayor got elected, I got elected, and the village manager, we started sitting down with the hospital and discussing their contributions to this village. As you know, hospitals are tax-free entities and don't pay any property tax, but they do siphon many of the services that us taxpayers paid. And we said, you got to help. And to be honest with you, they helped, and they came up with a co-payment. I think, did we get $3 million, Larry, out of them?
$1.8 million, I think.
$1.8 million,
Yeah.
and then we got some permit fees that were never spent
Building
before.
permit fee was $2,083,000. Recently, another $256,000, and then 3 payments made over 3 years, a little over $1 million.
And we are just about to sit down and renegotiate that. In fact, Ken Lukart, the CEO at this thing, said, Terry, we got to sit down and have some lunch together and begin talking. So, you know, welcome Christ Hospital. Thanks for your investment. And that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you.